Howdy, howdy everyone, Chris here. We're back in the garage today, and today we're working on a Mercedes. Yes, a Mercedes front bumper cover. Another easy fix, and I'm going to share with you how to do this today. Someone backed into her, put a little dent in her bumper cover there, so we're going to repair that. We're going to have to dismantle this entire bumper cover, remove all the components to do this repair properly. There is one other area that we need to address, and it's this quarter panel. They picked up a small dent on this quarter panel, and it's kind of hard to see being that this is white, but you can see there's a crown right here and there's a flat spot right here, and then right on this wheel arch there's a ripple in the metal. We'll probably do a little bit of glue pulling on this to get the metal out. So Darius is going to start by removing this bumper cover and tearing it down. Okay, Darius has got this whole bumper stripped down. We cleaned the bumper really well. He's got everything removed. So now we're going to go ahead and tackle this little dent here. And the way we're going to start with this is we're going to heat this up from the backside and push this out. This is a really simple repair, guys. A little bit of heat with a heat gun. You can manipulate this plastic and get it really close to where it should be. And then we can use a little bit of bumper filler to fill this low spot and block sand this out. You can see the damage right here. We'll get a heat gun on that. Now we'll just take the wet rag. Ooh, it's not hot enough. This is thick plastic, so. So I got a dolly underneath it. Now let's flip it over and see where it's at. Now we hit it with some 80 on the DA. It's a little bit high, but we're going to sand it down with some 80, level it out. Okay, we could do a little bit more to try and straighten this out, but we're not going to because it's very minor. We're just going to fill it. So we need to sand this painted area in here, get that paint off, and then we'll mix up some filler that's designed for bumper covers and fill this low area. Spray some isopropyl alcohol on it, clean it real quick. Okay, we got a little bit of a bow right here. I think I'm going to heat that up a little bit and try and straighten that out. So this right here is bowed out a little bit, so I'm going to heat the back side and then put a cold rag on the front side to kind of straighten that out. Now we'll come on the back side. Alright, so there we go now. Let me show you what we're going to use to fill this. This is the product here. It's flexible glaze is what it is. It's made for plastic bumpers for minor repairs. This is really inexpensive. I'll leave a link in the description if you need this. A little bit of hardener here. That's plenty. We'll take this over the bumper and mix it up. Our filler. We're just going to mix this, fold this in until it's all one uniform color. A little bit on the end, and I'm just going to fill the low spots first. And then I'll go on the outside of that and gradually work it in. What we're doing is filling these low spots and then creating a transition into the rest of the bumper, okay? We're just going to put a little bit on this spot right here. All right, now we're going to let that cure, and then we'll come back and block sand it lightly and shape it with 80 grit sandpaper, and then we'll move on to 180 to remove those 80 grit scratches and start refining this all the way down to a 320 grit scratch before we prime it. Now that the filler is dry, Darius is adding some dry guide coat to it. Dry guide coat is going to show us any imperfections or low areas as we're blocking it out. He's got a piece of 80 grit sandpaper on a smaller block. So the size block you want is going to be determined by the size of the repair. So you want a block that's just a little bit larger than your repair area if possible. You want to hold that block flat against the panel as you're blocking in a crosshatch or an X style pattern. Darius went ahead and blocked out the repair area. He started with 80 grit sandpaper. He used a guide coat, and he had to add a little bit more filler to get it straight, but then he blocked it with 80 grit again and then went over it with 180 to refine those 80 grit scratches. This right here is pretty level, so if we could transition from the high area into this little bit of a low area here, this side's good right here, and that feels good. So let's just put a skim coat of glaze right through here. Thin coat, and then just block that with 180. Block the rest of this with 180, and we'll be ready to primer it. So Darius has got just a little bit of glaze on here. Darius is getting good at body filler. Blocking out body filler. Here's where the high area was, so he's got a little bit of filler on the outside of that and a little bit of filler on this low area here. So now we get a good transition when we block it. We can gradually smooth that in so it blocks out so it's all nice and even. We blocked out the body filler. Darius blocked it out with 180 and then went over it with 320. Now we're going to apply some primer to it. If there's any minor imperfections in it, we'll take care of it with the primer, and then we'll prep out this bumper for paint. You shape it with 80 grit, then you block it with 180 to remove those 80 grit scratches and fine tune it. And then before we primer it, we block it with 320. We want to get rid of those 180 grit scratches as much as possible. If there's a few left in there, that's okay. But from my experience, if you primer over 180, it sits out in the sun, the substrates start to shrink, and then you can see those 180 grit scratches in your repair. Definitely over 80. If somebody's primering over 80, I'm totally against that. I don't care what you say. Primer over 80, those scratches will end up showing up in your repair. Okay, so we're using the R500. This has a 1.5 tip in it for primer. These are really good guns, inexpensive guns. They're low volume, low pressure paint guns. We narrowed the fan pattern down, 2.5 turns out on the fluid volume, and then the air pressure is about 14, I believe. This all depends on how you like to spray. This is just a good guideline. Putting on a second coat of primer. Darius has put some guide coat on here. That guide coat is going to show us any imperfections in our bodywork, in our body filler, any pinholes. It's also going to help us eliminate the texture that's in the primer. So Darius will block over this with 320 grit sandpaper, and we'll kind of get an idea if we need to put any other glaze or anything in it. And then we'll refine those scratches with 600. Darius is using a round block with a piece of 320 so we can get down in that contour. That's just a round block that we put some Velcro on, so we created a hook and loop type block with that. So he's kind of twisting it as he blocks. So if we would have had a high spot, or if we break through the primer into body filler or plastic, then we would have to evaluate that and see if that's a high spot where we need to add additional filler. So I'm feeling a little low spot here. The guide coat isn't showing it, but so I'm just letting the sandpaper do the work here. I don't want to press too hard. Actually, it feels a little bit better. I think that's going to be good. Darius is going to go ahead and finish up the block sanding of the primer, and then he's going to grab the orbital sander. He's going to put some 600 grit sandpaper on it, and then he's going to finish prepping out the bumper for paint. The reason we're using 600 is because it creates a coarse enough scratch for that clear coat to adhere properly, but it's not so coarse that it's going to leave deep scratches that are going to show up through the clear coat. And he will go over the primer with a soft interface pad so he doesn't dig into that primer with the 600 grit. Okay, so Darius has went ahead and got this all prepped out. We block sanded the primer with 320 grit sandpaper, and then he went over it with 600 grit on the orbital sander with the interface pad. So he used a soft foam interface pad like this one, and then he can move over the contours without damaging the filler or burning through the edges. And then for the rest of this bumper, we're just blending the color here, and we're just clearing the outside portion of this bumper cover. So he went around, he used 600 with the DA on the large areas, but all the hard to reach areas in the body lines, he used this scuff pad. This is a gray scuff pad. It's about a 1500 grit scratch, and basically you just want to knock the shine off so that clear coat adheres properly. You do not have to strip all the paint off your bumper. If you have damaged areas, you want to repair those areas, but do not try and strip the paint off your entire bumper cover. It's not necessary as long as your paint's in good condition. So next step is we're going to wash this. We're going to mount it up on our stand here, get ready to apply the sealer, the base, and then the clear coat, and I'll walk you through that entire process. Be sure to check out the next episode of Garage Noise when we apply our sealer, our base, our mid coat pearl, and then our clear coat. I'll walk you through the entire painting process step by step and give you all the tips and tricks you need to produce a beautiful looking repair. I appreciate each and every one of you watching. Smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on Garage Noise.